Itsy and the Infinite Web. A surreal journey around the elephant. As the three reached the end of the road, they passed underneath a large sign that said, "Establishment Laboratories, distilling life to fortify our world." Beyond the gate, the tower was towering, wide with many sides and tall with many stories. The three approached two huge doors covered in golden symbols. Prudence examined the door while Itsy watched Joy sail her boat through the air and make motor noises. "Ah, here we are," said Prudence as she pushed a large X that produced a small chime. "The bell tolls for these." The doors swung open outwards, and with them came two guards, both large bears, covered with badges and medals, as if highly decorated after countless past battles. The guard on the right had a hat that said Outwarden, and the guard on the left had a hat that said Inwarden. The two stood shoulder to shoulder in the doorway, glaring at the three inquirers. "All right, stop right there, all of you," demanded the Outwarden. "You're clearly all outside, and thus are not to be trusted." "Yes," agreed the Inwarden. "Stop right here and come inside immediately." "Yes," shouted Out. "Stop and wait, what? No, we were told to keep everyone out who was out, and by someone up high inside." "No, we weren't," insisted. "I spoke to several superiors and they want everyone in." "Who hired you?" exclaimed Out. "They can't have clearance. What kind of guard keeps everyone in?" "Prison guards," suggested Prudence, trying to keep Joy from climbing between them, using their ribbons for grips and footing. "Joy, these people are not toys. They are serious tools. And what if one of them has a knife, huh?" thrusted Out, as oblivious as In to the upwardly mobile duckling. "Should we give everyone a hug to check for weapons, you long-haired anarchist? Remember, I'm the old guard here." "Anarchy? Me?" inquisitioned with surprise. "You're the one who lets dangerous strangers run around without supervision. If any of them is armed, we should make sure to look in on them, not leave them out here without any oversight." "Between the two of you," Itsy intervened, "you must let some in and some out some of the time. Otherwise, seal the door shut and there's no need for guards." The two stared at Itsy and then at each other, while Prudence tried to stop Joy from cramming as many medals as she could into her mouth. "How about we compromise?" thought out loud. "She can get in, or her, or her." "Finally, we're getting somewhere," In vented with frustration and pointed to Prudence and Itsy with two claws. "You and you get in here." "No," said Out. "I said her, or her, or her." "Right," said In. "So her and her, not her." "No, no, no," screamed Out. "What part of or don't you understand? If the choice is mine to make, you silly screaming person, then I could choose her, or her and her and her, or her and her. I could choose her, and the spider, but I'm trying to compromise," said In, completely exhausted. Prudence pried the slimy ball of ribbons from Joy's mouth, tossed them safely aside, and pulled a sandwich out of her coat. "Maybe you could share this," she suggested. Both bears eyed the sandwich. "I say one of us eats it, or nobody eats it," said the Outwarden. "And I say both of us eats it, or nobody eats it," said the Inwarden. "So you both agree that nobody eats it," concluded Prudence. "Not necessarily," the two passionately objected together. They turned to and on each other, both hungry but both stubborn, arguing over the standing practices of when and how sandwiches are shared that lasted far longer than it would have taken for either or both to simply eat the sandwich. Itsy, interested in neither side and now bored, slid beneath their disagreement, and the other two followed her through the door and down a long reflective hall. Prudence left the sandwich on the doorstep between the arguing guards, though this clearly bothered her. "See that? 3 more got in. That's your fault," said Out as an echo down the hall. "My fault? First of all, I win," said In, another echo. "Second to none, you were distracting us." "They barely listen," sighed Prudence, "either to us or to each other." "I'm not really sure what we're getting into exactly," said Itsy, glancing back towards the doors. "It certainly looks like we're in for a long haul, but thanks for getting us in the door, Prudence." "Not a problem," replied the Swan calmly. "Everyone fights over truth as if it's the last sandwich on Earth, or on wheat, on Dutch crunch. Joy! Don't lick the walls. You don't know where they've been."